The weekend. And what a matchup between a 7-1 Titan team and an unbeaten Sea Devil squad. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. A great weekend of basketball about to culminate with this final game, which originally wasn't supposed to be the final game. There was supposed to be another game played, like a 5 o'clock contest involving USC Salkehatchie and South Georgia Tech. But USC Salkehatchie has run into some issues, as in personnel issues. And nothing wrong with the personnel, just not enough of it. Stepping out of bounds is Nevaeh Farmer as we get this one underway. And as a result of not enough players, they had to leave early. And as a result, instead of 3 games each day, it wound up being 3 games the first day and 2 on Saturday and Sunday. Cape Fear putting Nevaeh Farmer, Jada Cameron, Janelle Sindab, Romani Robinson, and Jakia Brunson on the floor first, while Albany Tech will counter with Carlos Johnson, Janiyah Johnson, Jakia Little, Kamira Robinson, and Sylvana Davis. Off the rim with a Cameron try. Meanwhile, it is stolen away. Farmer's got it, whips it over to Sindab. Sindab off the window. And your first points of the contest belonging to the home team. That will rattle in from the top of the key from Carlos Johnson. Johnson did not play in Friday's game for Albany Tech. She had to sit. It was mandatory after getting teed up twice in a ball game Saturday was a week ago in Alabama. So 2 technicals is an automatic ejection, and you have to sit the next game. So that's why we did not see Johnson on Friday, but we see her today. Farmer knocked down and apparently put there by Johnson. And that will have Farmer going to the strike. Both teams unbeaten in classic play. Cape Fear with a couple of wins, and Albany Tech with that lone win on Friday. This might be an indication early of what this game is going to be like, just back and forth. Already a couple of minutes into the ball game, you've had 2 Cape Fear leads and 1 Albany Tech advantage. And that very well could be the way this game goes. Put in play from the baseline. Off on the 3 try by Little. Rebounded by Johnson, goes into the corner with it. Davis off on a 3. And again, a rebound. Robinson able to get it to Little, and Little banking it off the window. And the old adage, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And guess what? Lead has changed hands again. Good to see Camden, as I mentioned, on the floor after coming out of the ball game, having to get some additional wrap on that ankle yesterday, but she is okay and back in today. By the way, thanks to the Cape Fear fan who private messaged me on Facebook going, hey, you guys going to have the Cape Fear Albany Tech game? And I'm like, well, sure. And then that alerted me to the fact that, hey, something must be up. And when creating the link, had it as private, not public. So I would be sitting here talking to myself had it not been for Cape Fear. Thank you very much, Cape Fear. Little at the stripe, 7-4 lead. Albany Tech. Two teams combined to win 12 out of 13 games. Albany Tech coming in at 7-1. Cape Fear in 5-0. Lost out of bounds by Sindab. I need to look up where Cape Fear is from. I'm thinking North Carolina, and I'm assuming Cape Fear on the coast. And as a child, long ago, lived on the coast of North Carolina for about 3 or 4 years. Pull-up jumper, Johnson. Lead goes to 6 for Albany Tech. And you got a 3-second violation. Not sure whether it was Sindab or whether it was Demaya Pfeiffer who stayed in the paint too long. Both were there. And it'll be Albany Tech basketball. By the way, Pfeiffer has come into the ball game. She is the only newcomer at the moment, laid in by Robinson. Make that Brunson. Brunson dropping into 2. Johnson with a miss, rebounded by Brunson. Out of bounds, last got Johnson. This is going to be one of those games. There is a Robinson on both sides of the floor. Kamira Robinson for Albany Tech. And Romani Robinson for Cape Fear. You got a spin move, Farmer. Johnson, snag on the board. You got a couple of Johnsons on the Albany Tech side, Carlos and Janaya. Johnson with a miss, as in Janaya, rebounded by Sindab. Handoff given to Pfeiffer. Lost the dribble and is picked up and taken the other way by Little. She'll lay it up. She will lay it in. And all of a sudden, Albany Tech has doubled up on Cape Fear. Handoff given to Pfeiffer. Robinson walked. Here comes Tanaya Peoples into the game, but she'll officially get some playing time after the media timeout. 4:13 to play. Quarter number 1, Cape Fear and Albany Tech.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Fed into the corner, it will go out of bounds, and it will belong to Cape Fear. Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm looking up where Cape Fear is. I'm familiar with Wilmington. Morehead City was where I lived from, like, I guess 6 to 9 years of age. Off the window for two. That is Malia Jackson checking into the game and immediately producing points. For you familiar with that area, my father worked at Cherry Point, Havilah. Hawley checking into the ball game for Cape Fear. Maggie Hawley with some quality minutes yesterday. The end of the game here at the 3:29 mark in quarter number one. Put in play by Jackson, gives it to Farmer. Brunson with a drive, got the underneath of the rim, rebounded by Peoples. Hands it over to Johnson. Shot like a rocket down to Johnson, ricochets into the hands of Farmer. And Farmer double dribbled on the way down. Albany Tech basketball, 3 minutes, just a tad under, left in this opening quarter. And Riley coming into the game for Albany Tech. Also into the game is Janiyah Evans. That is Riley. Misfires, put back, not there by Tierra Tucker, another new face for the Titans. From the top of the key, good-looking three ball from Brunson. First three and first points of the game for Brunson. And that will take a big bite out of a 6-point lead, fed into the corner. Riley trying to reciprocate, rebounded by Jackson. Farmer to Brunson. Into the paint, Jackson, battle of the big, she and Peoples. Peoples with a rebound off the miss, given over to Little. And Little lays it in on the opposite end of the floor. Jackson with the perimeter two. That is given to Robinson. Make that Tucker. Tucker with a fadeaway. Brunson's got another three. 2 Brunson threes, not the game at 16. Into the paint, got the lean in, would not drop in for Evans. And an opportunity for Cape Fear to claim their third lead of the quarter. And into Hawley's got it out front. Farmer right side back to Hawley. Farmer looking down low instead. Puts it up from outside of the paint. Follow up. Jackson not there, but she is fouled. And will have a chance to break the tie at the stripe. Malia Jackson trying to break the 16-all contest. Sindam coming out of the game. And Pfeiffer is back in for Cape Fear. A second Jackson free throw to break the 16 apiece game. She'll go 1 of 2. And comes out of the game. Vaughn checking into the contest. And somewhere I had a pronunciation guide on Vaughn's first name. Amy Reichel? I'm sure that's not right. We'll just go with Vaughn. Into the lineup, Brunson to the other end of the floor. Glass and rim, but no 2, and after 1, it will be a Cape Fear lead of 1, 17-16. One quarter in, and we've got, after 10 minutes, as I mentioned, just about what we anticipated. Tightly contested game. Albany Tech jumping out to a 6-point lead at one juncture in the quarter, but Cape Fear trims it and takes a lead into quarter number 2. Stolen away by Pfeiffer. Gives it over to Cameron. Cameron with a miss. That will go out of bounds, and at last got Riley of Albany Tech. Coming up at halftime, we talk with the commissioner of the GCAA, Dave Elner. Learn about what's going on in the conference. Talk multiple sports. And that is at halftime. Couple of tries for Cameron. But eventually it is Janiah Farmer who came up with it. Well, there's another problem spot. Got a couple of Farmers, one on each side of the floor. It's making me do double takes to the rosters. Got a Farmer wearing a goose egg for Cape Fear and a Farmer wearing a 4 for Albany Tech. So 2 Johnsons on ATC, a Robinson on each side of the floor, a Farmer on each side of the floor. Brunson with 6, weaves it over to Cameron off the glass. Farmer able to save it onto the floor for Albany Tech. And then there is a blocking foul on the Janiah Evans trip in. So Evans going to the stripe shooting, checking into the ball game for the Sea Devils is Kelly Holmgren. Brunson getting a much-deserved break. Going to the sidelines. Evans ties it now, trying to give the lead to Albany Tech and will in a 2-for-2 performance. Cameron to Pfeiffer. Loose ball swatted around, picked up by Evans. Topside Riley, 3-ball, not there. And it is tipped out of bounds by Jaeja Mitchell. Pfeiffer coming out of the game. The end of the game for Cape Fear is Yamori Hardison. In play to Evans. Evans with a miss. Rebounded by Cameron. Hawley's got it, steps behind the arc, launches the 3-ball, a little strong. Evans with a board, sneaking up from the backside, trying to take it away was Hardison. And you got a 3-second violation. That'll be charged to Farmer. Robinson checking into the game. Vaughton will go out. Ball put in play to Hawley. Cameron trying to get it back out to Hawley. Hawley, though, broke towards the top of the key. And it will go out of bounds and belong to Albany Tech in an 18-17 contest. Riley walking it down the floor. Brings it to the top of the key. Peoples left all alone. She can make those threes. Riley rebounds, but into the hands of Robinson. Robinson knocked down. And you've got a Peoples foul. And we'll put Robinson at the line. Davis coming back into the game. Little's back into the game. Johnson and Robinson. And Carlos Johnson. So the two Johnsons. In essence, the starting 5 back into the ball game for Albany Tech. The Cape Fear Robinson at the line, knots it up, and gives the lead back to the Sea Devils. That'll go backcourt. Compliments of the Robinson defense. It's Cape Fear basketball. Hawley walking it across the mid part of the floor after the inbounds, brings it right side. Out of the corner comes Hardison, tipped into the hands of Little. Lost out of bounds by Johnson. And Cape Fear with a 1-point lead's got it back. Nearly stolen away by Johnson. And Cameron might have gotten away with a walk after retrieving. It'll be bounced out of bounds by Robinson. Cape Fear keeps it. Got 7 seconds left on the shot clock. 6:25 to go in the quarter. Puts it in play to Hardison. Down low to Robinson. That's Robinson shooting over Robinson. And Robinson hitting the 2. Stolen away and then stolen right back. Holgram had it, taken back by Johnson. Holgram coming off the floor. Farmer is back in. Hawley coming out. And Monica Surratt coming in. Hardison to put it in play from the baseline on the opposite end of the floor. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we would love for you to. I think coming into the final game, we needed like 26 to get to 5,400 subscribers. Cameron with a miss, trying to get the putback with Surratt. Gives it over to Robinson. Surratt picks it up. Bodies on the floor, up with it Farmer. 3 opportunities, nothing yet. Saved by Farmer, out to Cameron. To Brunson with 2 on the shot clock. Short and a shot clock violation. And there was a timeout on the floor. 5:20 left to play in the half. Cape Fear by 3. Already taken in the basketball. Here at the hangar in Americus, Georgia. There has been a ton of great ball played here. And some great athletes on this floor. From a ladies' perspective, just recently, you're talking about Fanta Gasama, who was playing in New Mexico State, a starter there. Alexia DeZico, 6th man, first off the bench for the University of Florida, played here. Vera Guninen this year at Gonzaga. You want to go to the guys' side of the hardwood? What about Jake Crowder? Yep, played some of his junior college ball here, played in Texas as well. And, of course, went on to play at Marquette and where else? Boston, Miami. Stellar NBA career. Happened right here at some point. So see, when you do not check out a junior college athletic event, you don't know what you might be missing. Bryce Harper played JUCO ball. Cam Newton played JUCO ball. Gardner Minshew was a junior college football player. Aaron Rodgers played at a 2-year college. Tipped out of bounds by Little. Brunson to the scores table, coming back into the ball game for Cape Fear. Trotting to the sidelines is Robinson. Pfeiffer coming in, and Hardison will go out. Three-point Cape Fear lead. Farmer's got it out front, feeds over to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer had it stripped away and now taken away by Davis. Gives it to Johnson. And Robinson. Trying to lay it up. Did, but didn't lay it in. Brunson's already got 2 of those. Misfires on that one. Farmer trying to force it to Surratt. Robinson able to take it away. Hands it over to Little. Farmer coming out to defend. Little getting rid of it to Davis. Davis in the paint and a Surratt reach. Will it put Davis at the line? She's there. And will shoot two. Well, I'm not sure what was said to the officials, but one walked away. The other went and talked to Albany Tech coach Kenneth Williams. And maybe there were some extraneous conversations, but the bottom line is Davis at the line shooting and narrows it to a 2-point game. One more for Davis. Trying to turn it into a 1-point game. Brunson with a miss on the 3-point try. It is rebounded by Johnson. Little's given the lead back to Albany Tech. Off the glass, no good for Cameron. Little's got it. Feeds down to Davis. Davis, two more. Albany Tech with the advantage back. Into the corner to Cameron. Cameron with a reverse. It is tipped out of bounds by Surratt. And Albany Tech with possession. Sindab coming back into the game for Cape Fear. Cameron will leave. Albany Tech putting it in play. Give goes to Carlos Johnson. Up off the bench. And about to come into the game as Farmer gets the steal, lays it up and in. Is Trinity Hardy. Johnson a little too strong. Robinson misfiring on the putback. And I believe they call the foul on Surratt. That will be the first on Surratt. Davis out of the game. Back in for Albany Tech is Tucker. Hardy still waiting to come into the game. She will come in for the shooter, Robinson. And Robinson out after making both free throws. Hardy checking in. Off the glass. And the battle for the ball, and it got a little let's see, what would be the word? Rambunctious between the two fives, Hardy and Pfeiffer. Jump ball on the possession arrow favoring Cape Fear. In play to Pfeiffer, and Pfeiffer hitting the perimeter too. Tipped out of bounds by Farmer. Into the corner to Johnson. Johnson putting up the three. It's an air ball retrieved by Sindam. Sindam from the right side, deep into the corner, and then goes to Brunson. Brunson trying to find that rhythm that got her 2 threes in a row. As that is out of bounds off Johnson. Brunson to put it in play, does so to Farmer. Turns around, launches the three, dips it in and out. Hardy with the rebound. Inside a minute to go in the half. Off the glass for Johnson. Rebounded by Pfeiffer and goes over to Surratt. Surratt leans in and draws the foul. Johnson committing the personal. And Surratt with an opportunity to give the lead back to the Sea Devils. Johnson coming out of the game with the 2 personals. Evans back in for Albany Tech. Cape Fear with a lead after a pair of Surratt free throws. Johnson misfiring on the 3. Sindam's got it. And let's see if Cape Fear plays for the last shot of the half. Down low to Brunson, and Brunson getting fouled by Hardy. Commissioner Dave Elner coming up at the half. A reminder, too, not only subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's a request, by the way, not on demand. No mandates here. Just a request. Be sure to follow us, though, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky. And if you want to watch all of this stuff later, you can by subscribing to our premium channel. Little's desperation heave brings us to halftime. Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic here on JockJive has made it halfway through the last game. Coming up, that conversation with Dave Elner, the commissioner of the GCAA. Great to have with us as our halftime guest, the commissioner of the GCAA, Dave Elner. Dave Elner, how you doing?
We're filming this on a Monday, and it's been Monday, 3 Zoom calls, a NJCAA football poll call and poll voting, player of the week. I think I probably covered most of it, but, it's a good problem to have. Let's put it that way.
It's another Monday, I assume.
And it's always a good day in athletics, even if it's a problem.
Well, a lot of folks don't know that you wear multiple hats. Even though you gave away some of your hats in years gone by, like the baseball chair and et cetera, you still have got a multiplicity of jobs beyond commissioner. So what are some of those jobs? I know you work with the football polls. What else?
Well, commissioner, men's region director, football committee member. This is trouble. Beach volleyball. I'm picking up where James Frey left off as a GCA member on beach volleyball. So no, I had three last year: skeet shooting, golf, and tennis, and I've been on those. And I just felt like I needed to change something different. I had not served on the football committee. Rob Nielsen at Snow had to roll off as he was taking over as NJCA senior men's administrator. I'll get it out here in a minute. And so I felt it was good for me to hop in there to try to give some support to the independent teams in football, because, Texas is a league, Kansas is a league, Mississippi is a league. And then you've got the four of us, Snow, Lackawanna, GMC, a couple others that we really just have to sort of try to fight to get some recognition there, So doing those things, and so enough to keep me busy, let's put it that way.
Now, you mentioned the gentleman rolling off of one of the committees. Is an appointment to a committee or as a chair, is it for an allotted time frame, or do you kind of take it on a year-to-year type basis?
No, as region directors, we're able to put in what we'd like to serve on. Now, of course, everybody would love to serve on the baseball committee or the basketball committee, those committees, which are, highly visible committees. But, I've always taken it. I did serve as baseball chair, national baseball chair for 7 years, and I rolled off of it. And I had somebody come up to me at an annual meeting and said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Why are you giving up baseball chair?" I said, "Because I've served for 7 years. It's not something that you're entitled to. Our jobs, because we're our volunteers, are to provide service." And that's the way I looked at it, just like our public service people across the country. If they would probably do that, and I'm not going into politics here, I think we would all be a better place if people would realize what their role is to actually serve, not be served.
Let me put in a amen to term limiting, and I'll stop there. All right, let's talk about football. The fact that not only did you have a GMC this year, but you had a GCAA conference with Andrew College and Central Georgia Tech. How did that go?
It went well. I mean, Georgia, both of those schools, Andrew and Central Georgia Tech, first year, got their feet wet. They played a lot of prep schools, and now we're having some conversations. All right, guys. If you want to be looked at, people will look at this, like the poll committee and everybody else. You were 9-1 Central Georgia Tech, but, you've got to start playing NJCA schools. And the national office is looking at something. They're having discussions about not counting those non-NJCA schools when it comes to stats for All-American, those type things, and polls and those things. So it gives more credibility from that standpoint, I understand, but there's also limitations sometimes, because not everybody, for example, like us in Georgia, we don't have the luxury of having 8 football teams, unlike, say, a Mississippi or a Kansas or a Texas like that, where they don't have to travel as much. So, those type things come into play.
The 2 teams that were new, well, in essence, helped create the conference, are they back next year? And is there the possibility of adding more?
They are back. I don't foresee us adding any more. I think what we'll see is the coaches are discussing now. This is okay. We might just end up playing each other on a home and home. For example, this year Georgia Military had Uriah Prep and Clayton State. What will benefit Georgia Military that aspect is to drop 2, and even if it's just playing Clayton State and Andrew again, that looks better on paper from that aspect. So we'll see how that goes. I think they'll keep playing, and I think give them a little bit of time. This is just getting your feet wet kind of year for those 2. But I think moving forward, I got a feeling both of them will look at trying to play a little more difficult schedule and see how – it doesn't benefit them to play a prep team and win 45-0. It doesn't. If you're going to do that, you might as well stay a club team. So I think it'll benefit them to maybe try to play some others, and they might have to travel a little bit more from that aspect.
Obviously, I did not go to Central Georgia Tech or Andrew College, but what are their facilities like, their home stadiums?
Central Georgia Tech has a nice turf field. Andrew's playing on a high school field. So they don't have the luxury of GMC from that standpoint. Davenport Stadium has been there for a long time. But they do. Andrew will probably have to go back and look because they did have an old football field back on the middle of their campus, and I don't know how they utilize that now. And so I don't know if that'll change for them moving forward or not. We'll just have to see.
All right, basketball-wise, we are into basketball season, so we got to talk a little round, Paul. Is it in postseason as it has been where the highest remaining seed after the quarterfinals host both men and women?
That is correct. So we'll have that play-in game on that Tuesday, and I think that's the end of February, 1st of March. We'll have that play-in game, and then the highest remaining seed will host the semis on both sides.
How's the basketball season looking? I know it's very early in the year, or it could be a little later when this is re-aired, but how is the basketball season looking?
Well, right now we're sitting at week 3, just getting going there. A lot of teams are doing some of that non-conference travel. Some of our teams going down to Florida, over in Alabama playing, and reciprocating there. South Georgia State has jumped off to a 4-win and no losses at this point. So we'll see where we are down the road. But once we come back in the 1st of January, everybody will be jumping into conference play for January and February.
I hear just these little whispers of maybe some regions joining other regions due to maybe a lack of the number of schools. Is there any conversation of Region 17? Is it 17?
That's correct.
Yes. Okay. My brain at this age, is there any conversation of it absorbing another or vice versa?
Well, what we've got is, we have 11 teams right now, and then 6 of those schools are USG schools, University System of Georgia. And we have no true junior colleges anymore. Okay. They're all 4-year schools. And so really the talk's been going on for probably about 15 years now. I think it's starting to gain a little headway that these schools really need to look at moving up to 4-year status athletically, which would be NAIA. If we lose those 6, then we're down to 5 schools. Andrew's going, they're talking the same thing. So we're looking at our 4 tech schools in Oxford. If that did come to fruition, I can't see where Region 17 would stand as a standalone conference with 5 schools. You look way back in the crystal ball, back into the 70s when Alabama and Georgia were part of the same conference, and then schools grew at that point, and we made 2 separate conferences at that point. Would Georgia fit better going into Region 10, which is the Carolinas and Virginia? I don't think so, because you go from South Carolina all the way up to West Virginia. And if Georgia came into that would be much further travel. You look at the schools that would remain, and all this is theoretical right now, okay? Mm-hmm. If all those schools that would remain would be west of I-75. So except for, and don't know how Georgia Military would fall, because Georgia Military is sort of a hybrid in the sense. So don't know how those others would fall. It would make sense because look at it this way. Americus is only an hour from the Alabama border. Central Georgia Tech is basically a little bit more, So I think those would probably end up going that route end up being absorbed there. And the national office has talked about, and preliminary talks about, looking at region realignments and those type things. But I also know that has been put on the shelf for like a couple of years. So I don't expect that to happen for a couple of years. Now, even if the USG said they wanted those 4 schools to go ahead and try to move up to the 4-year level, which would be NAIA, and they made that jump, then it might be something that the remaining, they might just go ahead and say, hey, y'all need to go ahead and move in on this. So there's a lot of pieces that would have to come together for all this. And like I said, this talk's been going on for 15 years. 15 years from now, if it took another 15 years, I can tell you this, I won't be commissioner of the conference at that point. Somebody else will be. And, 5 years down the road, I don't expect, good Lord willing, that I'll still be doing what I'm doing. I'd like to look forward to enjoying some retirement time. Got one grandchild and another one on the way in February, and they've got raising kids and grandchildren backwards, because it sure is a whole lot more fun dealing with grandchildren than it is children, because grandchildren, you can give them back. Children, you can't. You're stuck with them.
Well, now you can't leave the conference, because actually I'm an advocate for changing it from the GCAA to the DAVE.
Well, look, hey, if that were to happen, and like I said, all these are hypotheticals, and I generally do not like to get into hypotheticals, what ifs, because that's where worry comes in with people. People worry about things and they never materialize, and there's a lot of unnecessary angst amongst people in that. As my late father used to tell me, and I think I did this as a young tyke, that I used to worry about things and that I couldn't control, and things might never come to fruition. And so worry about things that you can control, and then God will take care of everything. I firmly believe that. And if that happens, he'll take care of those schools. And then, let's be honest, they'll have to make some hard choices at that point of what they decide to do. Do they want to decide to continue playing? As all our tech schools really just have a couple of teams, So, and our technical school they're workforce driven, which I understand that. That's their mission. I've always been an advocate that athletics can fit in with that workforce-driven mission, and we've had a number of our schools that have proved that. John Watford and South Georgia Tech has been a staunch advocate for us, and I think it's worked for them, and it's brought kids onto that campus in Americus, and then they've moved on to all places across the country. And so, I think things can work. People just have to be open-minded about a lot of stuff.
Dave Elner, we're squeezing you into halftime. It's 15 minutes, and we've taken about 13. So we'll wrap up the conversation. I know we'll talk again, and I know we'll see you in either late February, early March, somewhere in the state of Georgia. We
will, and hey, let's not – softball and baseball, they'll come around, and those seasons will get going in January, and then they'll be playing in May there. So we'll talk about those at a later date.
Dave Elner, Commissioner of the GCAA, thanks for being our halftime guest.
Robert, appreciate you as always, buddy. Thank you.
Half number 2 between the 7-1 Titans and the 5-0 Sea Devils. Robinson. First shot of the second half missed, but got the rebound. Stolen away by another Robinson, a Sea Devil Robinson. And she'll bank it in. Taking a look at your second half starters. It is Jackson, Sindab, Farmer, Robinson, and Brunson for the Sea Devils. Meanwhile, Titans with Johnson, Robinson, Davis, and Little. And that is Johnson for 3. Farmer taken away by Johnson. Robinson loose ball to Johnson. Carlos, 3-ball not there. And it is rebounded by Robinson. Farmer kicking it outside of the arc. Brunson dropping in the 3. She hit a pair of those back-to-back in the first half. And launches her first of half number 2. Taking it baseline, Little. And I think Robinson might have got a piece of it from the backside. Farmer on the other end of the floor. She will lay it up and in. Half number 2 as we bring the Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic to a close. Stolen away by Robinson. Gives it over to Farmer. From the corner, Sintab with a miss. Robinson the rebound. And yes, again, there is a Robinson on both sides of the floor. Johnson off on the 3. It is the Sea Devil Robinson with a rebound. Takes it coast to coast, and there is a collision and a foul. That'll be a Davis foul. And it'll be brought in from the baseline. Foul committed on the floor. Robinson might be in the act of shooting when fouled. Brunson. Johnson tips it away from the backside. It'll go out of bounds. Brunson last to touch it. Titans in possession. Lost by Little. Farmer with it on the other end of the floor. Does a little Euro and drops it in for 2. Johnson to Johnson. Getting Little in on the mix. To the paint to Davis. Stolen away. Farmer trying to take it. Then trying to get it over to Robinson. Eventually out of bounds, and eventually out of bounds off of Little. Two-pointer for Robinson, no good. Sindam trying to swat it out. Little's got it. Back over to Johnson. Sindam with Johnson each step of the way. Weaves through the arc, then puts up the 3 off the rim. Rebounded by Robinson. And the Titan Robinson trying to tip it away from the backside, committing the foul. So it will be put in from the baseline. I make that from the sideline on the opposite side of the floor. Brunson to do the honors. Little conversation going on at the scorer's table. Not sure what the chat was about. No changes on the clock or the shot clock. Jackson to Farmer. Farmer for 2. Janiah Evans is set to come into the game for the Titans. Stolen away by Robinson. Sindam getting into Farmer, and Farmer knocked down. That'll be a foul on Carlos Johnson, and her first. One more for Farmer. 5:37 to play. Quarter number 3. Pfeiffer coming into the game. Sindam will go out for the Sea Devils. In play to Carlos Johnson. Out of the corner, back it goes to Little. Feeds it to the timeline, Little. Into the arc, and there is a foul. It'll be charged to Pfeiffer. First half numbers, leading scorer for the Titans with 11 was Little. Leading rebounder was Peoples with 3. The assist leader was Carlos Johnson with 2. Blocked shots, that was Robinson with 2. Most time on the floor, 16 minutes, 55 seconds. And that was Little. And if you're looking at foul issues for the Titans, you've got Janiah Johnson with 2, and you had Savannah Davis with 2. For Cape Fear, the top scorer, I make that for, yes, Cape Fear. Top scorer was Malia Jackson, who had 5. Top rebounder, Farmer, who had 9. The assist leader was Hawley, who had 2. Steals leader, Farmer, with a pair. And Farmer stayed out on the floor longer than any other Sea Devil with 16 minutes, 32 seconds of playing time. A little too strong with the Evans shot. Rebounded by Robinson. And it was tipped away by Evans. And that will take us to the media timeout. Cape Fear coming into the second half, turning a 2-point lead into a 13-point advantage.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Four and a half minutes to go in the third. 42-29. Cape Fear lead, trying to go to 6-0 on the young year. And knock off some D1 schools in the process. They are a Division II team. Robinson the miss. Jackson 7 in the game. Into the corner to Evans, sends it cross court to Little, steps up inside the arc. Air ball on the 2 try. I'm not sure if anybody got a piece of it. Looked like they might have, though, based on the trajectory of the basketball. Farmer throws it out of bounds. Titans will have possession. They'll put it in play from in front of the Cape Fear bench. Rest of your look at first half stats. Turnovers, 14 for Cape Fear, 10 for Albany Tech. Points off turnovers, Titans with 11. Sea Devils with 6. Bench scoring, 9 for the Sea Devils, 4 for the Titans. 8 lead changes, 5 ties, and a 6-point lead in the first half was the largest. Obviously, that has changed a bit. Got a double-digit Cape Fear lead here in the second half. That'll go out of bounds off Johnson. Pfeiffer to put it in play. Gets it to Robinson, and she'll bank it. Cross court to Evans. Back over it goes to Little. And Little foul, bringing it into the paint. That'll be charged to Robinson. Little with 11 points in the ball game, went 1 for 1 at the stripe in the first half. As a matter of fact, all of her points came in the first half. Looking for her first second half points. And she'll get it, going 1 for 2. Put in play to Farmer, feeds it over to Robinson. Farmer out front with it. Jackson waving for it down low. Peoples into the game for Albany Tech. Sees her. Brunson missing on the 3. Into the corner and able to save it. Robinson banging it off Evans. So Cape Fear keeps it, puts it in play from the baseline. A number of bumps on the rim, but able to drop in for Brunson. Johnson too strong on the 3, tipped out. Johnson able to get it. Looked like she went backward. Well, the ball didn't though. She did. The ball did not. And there's a Johnson 3. Whipped over to Farmer. Farmer giving a down low look to Jackson. Topside give to Brunson. Into the corner to Pfeiffer. There have been few substitutions in half number 2. For Cape Fear especially. Laid in by Evans. Robinson trying to get the scoop, just slipped out of the hands, went out of bounds, but apparently did catch Titan fingertips on the way out. Malia Jackson raising the hands, palm skyward as if to say, hey, wasn't there a foul there? Well, the basketball's on the stage. So our umpire's got to take a trip up onto the stage to retrieve. I may have to ask Carl, the official, why he had to get up onto the stage, whereas in the prior game when the ball went onto the stage, umpire just kind of hopped up and reached and got it. I'm not going to suggest that the age of the umpire had anything to do with it, but maybe the age of the umpire had something to do with it. Mackenzie Morton coming into the game. getting a first playing time here with 45 seconds left to play in the third. Got a lot of minutes yesterday for Cape Fear. Some quality minutes and into the game now. 13-point Sea Devil lead. Little off the rim with a 3-try, rebounded by Robinson. Farmer back to Robinson. Morton apparently stepped out with it. And the back heel out of bounds. Jackson out, Surratt in. And Robinson coming out. Holmgren coming in for Cape Fear. Almost looks like Albany Tech is playing for the last shot of the quarter. If you were up 13, okay. Down 13, a little surprising. Morton with the rebound. Won't be able to get a shot off, and we will wrap up 3. Hand of the fourth. Will the Sea Devils stay unbeaten? Or will Albany Tech pick up their 8th win of the year? We'll know in about 10 basketball minutes.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
There is Terry Battle. She is like the associate AD or assistant AD, but a lot of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes to make what you see a reality and a success starts right there with Terry. She does a great job of organizing, getting here early, staying late, and making sure that everything happens as it should. Ten minutes left to play. Morton with it out front. Brunson to Farmer to Morton. She'll launch the 3 off the rim. Rebounded by Tierra Tucker, who is in for Albany Tech. Johnson for 3 off the rim. It is retrieved by Little, missed, and then tipped out of bounds by Tucker. Tip to the other side of the floor. Surratt dives to get it. Well, that was a tackle from Tucker. She dove on top of Surratt, trying to come up with a loose ball. And I think they're trying to pick up the numbers of Tucker as that long, I don't know if you call it a ponytail because it's not, you know, as we would think of a ponytail, just one strand, multiple strands. There's probably a name, but I'm not sure what it is. But got the long hair down the back of the jersey, and it took a moment for the official to go, hey, can you tell me who that is? What the number is of the lady with the long hair. Brunson. Shot missed. Little's got it going the other way. Johnson with an air ball, but Evans trying to get the 2-point putback didn't. Vaughn into the game. for the Sea Devils, gives to Farmer. Down to Morton. Morton has it taken away. Johnson the steal to Tucker, back to Johnson. And that will go out of bounds off Holmgren. Morton coming off the floor, Hawley coming in. Hawley, the first half assist leader with 2. Into the game in the fourth, Johnson in the corner. Backs up, thought about the 3, gives it over to the other Johnson. There's Janiyah and Carlos. It's Carlos who's got it. Drops in the, I think 2, no, 3, according to the official, which means a 4-point play could be coming. Well, I went back and looked at the replay. That was a 2-point shot. And I think that is what is being pleaded at the moment from the coaches. Well, when you go back and look at the replay, and let's see if I can bring it up. Yeah, it is definitely a 2. Well, we'll see if anything changes on the scoreboard after the conversation between officials. Let's do that after the break. After the coaches appeal and then the officials get together and they decide it was a 2-point shot. So it is a 10-point ball game. Air ball on the 3 try. Johnson to Little, and Little lays it up and in. It's a single-digit Cape Fear lead. Farmer was standing out of bounds when she retrieved the basketball. Holmgren out, Vaught out, and Hawley out. Jackson, Sindab, and Robinson all coming in. That is a long Johnson 3. That's a Stephon Curry range. Peoples with a rebound. And then Peoples gets fouled. So Peoples trying to slice a little more into this advantage, which is not insurmountable at this point with 7 minutes and 32 seconds left to play. Harding coming into the game. Peoples will go out. Brunson to put it in play from the baseline. Just a 2-possession game now. With 7:32, that's lots of time left. Sindab might have gotten away with a walk there. Albany Tech trying to cut it to 4, maybe even 3. Lost by Peoples. And it will be Albany Tech basketball. Last got the foot, I believe, of a Sea Devil. Little's got it near the timeline, right side, bringing it down low for the much higher percentage shot, and it's a 4-point game. Sindab to Jackson. Farmer with it out front. Moved over to Farmer. Jackson. Lost it. Peoples picks it up, hands it to Johnson. Off the rim for Little. Trying to make it a 1-point game with one shot. Farmer into the corner. Brunson. She'll miss the 3. Rebounded, put back, not there. Farmer. Jackson's got it. It won't fall. Try again. Jackson, and she hits the 2. Multiple offensive boards turning into points. Little trying to whip it down low off the leg of Brunson. Back to Little. Misfires on the 2. Rebounded by Peoples. Got the underneath of the backboard. Brunson will fall down trying to retrieve. Peoples will too. And it will stay in Titan hands. Janiah Johnson putting it in play. Off the glass, Johnson, no good. Rebounded by Brunson. Gives to Farmer. Farmer in the paint. Pfeiffer giving to Brunson. Feeds over to Sindab. Off the glass for 2. Cape Fear trying to rebuild that lead after it was trimmed to 4. Little at the top of the key. Stepping out to steal, Robinson hands it over to Sindab. Sea Devils with the numbers. Rejected by Johnson. And that will get us to the media timeout. Last one of the ball game, last one of the Classic. 4:53 to play. Just about all white. Jones County diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Half of the quarter to go. in a 54-46 contest. Cape Fear trying to stay unbeaten. 3-0 in the Classic. Albany Tech looking for that 8th win of the year. Put in play to Sindam. Fed down low to Farmer, bounced off Farmer. Johnson shoved to the floor, and Farmer did it. That will be the 3rd team foul in the stanza. Trying to get the pass down low to Robinson. Tipped by Brunson out of bounds. Albany Tech will keep possession of the basketball. In play to Johnson. From the corner, that is Janiah Johnson. Trying to respond on the other end of the floor is Robinson. Brunson with a putback. It is a 7-point game. Johnson wanting another 3. The air ball tipped back onto the floor by Robinson. Little giving to Carlos Johnson. Puts it up from the stripe. She'll hit it. And Albany Tech will ask for time with 3:51 to play in a 5-point contest. .351 to play in a 5-point game. Farmer with it top side. Pfeiffer into the game. Falls on the floor. Got a timeout prior to losing possession. So the Cape Fear timeout saves possession with 3:33 to go.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Hawley checking into the game for the Sea Devils. Has it out front. Farmer taking it baseline. Little firing to the opposite end of the floor. Johnson's there for the easy lay-in. Nearly taken away by Robinson. And don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Need 26 more to get to 54. The more the merrier. Can't get enough. And yeah, when we get 54, we're okay. I'll concede. Shooting for 55. Hawley into the paint. Ran into Robinson. Walked with it. It will be Albany Tech basketball. .241 to play. Johnson thinking about the three. Little's got it. Three would knot it up at 56. Little got glass rim and two. It's a 1-point game. That is Sintab for three, off the rim. And Albany Tech will have it with a couple of minutes to play and an opportunity to grab the lead. Well, that apparently went to the locker room. It took a while for Robinson to find it. Traveled down the hallway. She was gone so long that the official was asking one of the players, is she still coming back with a basketball? Give it to Johnson, shoots the three. Might have nibbled the rim. And it will be Cape Fear ball. Farmer with a drive, Farmer with the two. Big bucket for Farmer and Cape Fear. In the corner, Johnson. Johnson bringing it down low. And a 3-second violation. Big violation. Big turnover there. Turning this into a big possession for Cape Fear. Trying to build a 2-possession lead. Hawley with a handoff to Sindam into the corner to Robinson. That'll be lost out of bounds by Farmer. And this becomes a big possession. The offensive charge to Robinson. Put in play to Farmer. Hawley to Sindam, and eventually it was Brunson, and now you got Little on the other end of the floor, feeding over to Johnson, and Johnson for two. A 1-point ball game, 21 seconds left. 58-57 Sea Devils.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
21 seconds left to play. Cape Fear with a 1-point lead. Shot clock off. And apparently another timeout on the floor. So we'll take another break. Come back for obviously the exciting finish to the Pete Arrington Classic. Enjoying Feliz Navidad in kind of a different way, I would assume. As we get the final 21 seconds of this one underway. And there is a push. And let's see who committed the foul. Johnson. Non-shooting, though. Both teams are still a couple of fouls away from putting the other team in the line. Well, there's another foul. And this one is going to be on Robinson. That is the fourth team foul. And the two fouls have run 4 seconds off the clock. Brunson fouled by Robinson per request of the coach with 10 seconds left. And now we've got a shooter. Brunson will go to the line. Can't put the game out of reach. Can make it feel a little more comfortable. Tucker coming out, Little coming in. And Brunson at the strike. Well, hit the first one like there was nothing to it. No pressure. Now trying to extend it to 3. This shot, opportunity for a tie or a win. Johnson launching the 3 off the rim. Rebounded by Sindab, and the ball game is over. Cape Fear remains unbeaten. And Albany Tech will sustain their second loss of the year. What a game, 59-57, your final score. And what a classic this has been. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back here for the Classic after Christmas. We will be back here for men's basketball on the 14th. And, of course, next week, basketball on Tuesday and Saturday. Tuesday, Marion Military and Coastal Alabama North. And then we will have Coastal North and South men's basketball on Saturday. See you then. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Got a new JUCO Rush show coming out this week, which will only be available on YouTube. And, of course, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And if you want to watch this game later, subscribe to our premium channel. The day is done. It ends with a Cape Fear win, 59-57. For all the folks here at South Georgia Tech, and for JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. Have a good rest of your weekend.